She told me that if I couldn't deal with her going on work trips with her ex, maybe we weren't meant to be. I grinned and said, "Fair enough." The following week, I took the promotion in Dubai I'd been passing up for her sake. My name's Marcus. I'm 29, working in global finance. Just 3 weeks ago, I thought I had it all figured out. A great girlfriend, a solid career path in New York, and big plans for the future. Now I'm writing this from a hotel suite in Dubai, single, and honestly, I've never felt more at ease. Let me take you back to where it all started unraveling. I'd been with Emma for 2 years. We met at a friend's rooftop party in Brooklyn, and the spark was instant. She was a marketing pro at a tech startup, driven, witty, stunning, the full package, or so I believed. 6 months ago, she landed a promotion to senior account manager. Awesome, right? Except her new role meant frequent travel with her team, including her ex, Tyler. They dated for 3 years, split up 8 months before we met, and somehow in a city of millions ended up at the same company. She swore it was ancient history, purely professional. I trusted her. I'm not the jealous type, and I genuinely thought people could handle these things maturely. The first few trips were fine. She'd send me good-night texts from whatever hotel she was at, we'd video call, it felt normal. But then the trips stretched longer. 4 days turned into a week into 10 days. Her messages got shorter, less frequent. It all came to a head 3 weeks ago on a Tuesday night. She just returned from a conference in Austin. 5 days, Tyler was there, and we were at our favorite Italian spot in the West Village. I'd been trying all week to bring up the Dubai job offer, but she kept dodging, claiming she was wiped out from traveling. "So listen," I began, poking at my pasta, "I need to discuss something big. The Dubai role," she cut me off. "Marcus, I've told you I can't move. My career's finally taking off here." "I know," I said, "which is why I've been saying no to it for 4 months. But Emma, it's a 40% pay raise, a VP title, and the experience." She interrupted again, her tone sharp. "I need a partner who backs my goals too. It's not all about money." I set my fork down. "That's not fair. I've been supporting your career this whole time. I'm just asking if we can talk about me giving up everything I've built so you can chase a fatter salary in the desert." She gave a cold laugh. "Very progressive of you." My jaw clenched. "Emma, that's not what I'm saying. I'm asking if we can look at options. Maybe you could transfer, or we could try long distance for a bit, or you could stay here," she snapped. "Like you said you would when we got serious." "I never said that. I said I'd think hard before making any big moves, which is what I'm doing." She took a slow sip of her wine, and I could tell she was building up to something. "You know what, Marcus? Since we're laying it all out, I've got something to say too. I've got another trip next month, 2 weeks in Seattle, a major client pitch. Tyler's going, and before you say anything—" "I wasn't going to say anything." "Good," she said, leaning in, her voice low and pointed, like she was about to win an argument. "Because I need you to get this. If you can't handle me traveling with my ex for work, maybe we're not right for each other. This is my career. These trips aren't up for debate, and I need a partner secure enough to trust me." The restaurant's hum faded for a moment. I just stared at her, really saw her, and something clicked. Not anger, not pain, just clarity. She just told me her ex was more important than any compromise in our relationship. She twisted feminism and trust to shut down a real conversation about my career and made me feel like I was the one being unreasonable. I smiled, not forced, genuine. "Fair enough." She blinked, clearly expecting a fight. "Fair enough, that's it." "Yeah," I said, picking up my fork. "You're right. If we're not right for each other, we're not right. Thanks for being upfront." Dinner was painfully awkward after that. She tried to walk it back, saying she didn't mean it like that, but I just nodded and kept eating. I paid the check, walked her home, kissed her cheek, and went back to my place. The next morning at 7 a.m., I called my boss. "Richard, it's Marcus, about the Dubai job I'm in. When do you need me there?" He laughed. "You sure? You've said no 3 times. I'm sure, let's do it." "All right, welcome to the VP Club. We'll need you there in 2 weeks for the transition." I notified my landlord. Emma noticed I was swamped but assumed it was work stress. I didn't correct her. We still had dinner a few times, texted, but I was already checked out emotionally. I wasn't mad, just done. 10 days after that Italian dinner, she came to my apartment. I was packing when she walked in. "What's all this?" she asked, eyeing the boxes and suitcases. "I'm moving." "Moving where?" "Dubai. I took the VP job. I leave in 4 days." Her face cycled through shock, confusion, and panic. "You what? Marcus, we need to talk about this." "We did talk. You said if I couldn't handle your career choices, we weren't right for each other, so I made my own career choice." "That's not. I didn't mean you should just leave." I taped up a box. Emma, you've been clear about your priorities. Tyler, travel, your career path, all non-negotiable. That's fine, but my career's non-negotiable too. So what, you're just dumping me? Just like that? You ended us when you said your ex was more important than finding any middle ground. I never said that. You did. You said the trips with him were non-negotiable. You said if I couldn't deal with it, we weren't right for each other. Well, I can't deal with it and we're not right. She started crying, which, I'll admit, made me feel awful for about 30 seconds. Then she said, Marcus, please. I love you, we can work this out. Did you sleep with him? Silence, long, brutal silence. It was one time in Austin, we were drunk, it didn't mean anything, I felt horrible. I held up my hand. Stop. Just stop, Marcus. Get out, please. Let me explain. Emma, get out of my apartment. She left, sobbing. I went back to packing. Update 1, the next 3 days were a whirlwind. Emma called 47 times, I counted. I didn't pick up. She sent long texts about how sorry she was, how it was a mistake, how she'd quit her job, how she'd moved to Dubai. I didn't reply. My friends thought I was being harsh. My sister said I should at least hear her out. But here's the deal. I'd been ignoring my instincts for months. All those late-night texts that never came, all those times she'd snap at me for asking about her trips, all those moments she made me feel irrational for having normal concerns. I wasn't being harsh. I was finally being wise. She somehow found out my flight details, probably from an Instagram story I forgot to hide. She called the morning of my flight. Marcus, please, I'm at JFK. I know you're leaving today, just talk to me for 5 minutes. I was in the Emirates lounge, sipping a whiskey pricier than our Italian dinner. Emma, there's nothing to say. There's everything to say. I love you. I messed up and I want to fix it. You made a choice. You chose him over me, over us, over any chance at compromise. And you know what? I'm grateful because now I get to choose. What does that mean? I took another sip, staring at the planes on the tarmac. It means I'm boarding business class to start my new life and you're not in it. Take care, Emma. I blocked her on everything. Then I snapped a photo of my boarding pass and the lounge view. You could see my plane, that sleek Emirates A380, and posted it to my Instagram story with the caption, New chapter, VP life in Dubai. Sometimes the best comeback is just living well. I didn't tag her or mention her, but I knew she'd see it. Honestly, I didn't care if she did. Update 2, I've been in Dubai for 2 weeks. The job's incredible, demanding, high pressure, exactly what I needed. My apartment overlooks the marina, I've got a company car, and I'm working with some of the sharpest minds in global finance. I should be wiped out, but I'm energized. Emma's reached out through mutual friends. One of them, Sarah, called yesterday. Marcus, I know you don't want to hear this, but Emma's a mess. She quit her job. She's barely leaving her place. Sarah, I appreciate you checking in, but I'm not responsible for Emma's choices anymore. She made a mistake. She made a choice. There's a difference. She chose to sleep with her ex, hide it, and then guilt-trip me about my career. That's not a mistake, that's who she is. Sarah paused. You're right, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have called. It's fine, I know you mean well. How are you doing? We talked about normal stuff, and it felt good to have a conversation that wasn't about Emma. I heard through the grapevine that Tyler and Emma aren't together. Turns out he's got a long-term girlfriend who also works at their company. The Austin thing was just a fling. She threw away our 2-year relationship for a drunken hookup with a guy who didn't even want her. I should feel smug, but I mostly just feel bad for her, not bad enough to reach out, but still. Final update, it's been 3 weeks total. I've gone on a few dates here, nothing serious, just coffee and chats. Dubai's expat scene is wild, full of professionals from all over. I'm not diving into anything, but it's nice to know there are other people out there. My boss pulled me aside yesterday, said I'm already surpassing expectations. There's talk of me heading the entire Middle East division in 18 months if I keep it up. That would have been unthinkable in New York, where I was stuck in a rut, passing up opportunities because I thought I was building a life with someone. I don't miss Emma, not exactly. It's more like thinking about a movie you used to love, then rewatching it and realizing it wasn't that great. She sent one last Instagram message before I blocked her there too. I hope Dubai gives you everything you wanted. I hope it was worth it. The thing is, it already has. Not just because the job's amazing or Dubai's incredible or I'm living some dream life. It's worth it because I finally put myself first. I stopped shrinking to fit someone who wouldn't even talk about compromise. I stopped ignoring warning signs because I was comfortable. I stopped letting someone make me feel unreasonable for having standards. Would I have preferred she didn't cheat? Sure. Would I have liked an honest conversation about our careers, finding a way forward together? Of course. But that's not what happened. She showed me who she was, and I finally listened. So yeah, Emma, it was worth it, every single mile.